Are you planning to buy a house? Not sure where to begin? In this video, we look at questions you need to ask as a first-time home buyer when buying your first home. That's coming right up.
Welcome to Home Buyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, I'm Carlier. Welcome to another Home Buyer School video, a channel where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and tips from home buying experts. And remember, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to get these strategies from the experts, make sure to hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I'm joined by Corey McDonald, Community Manager with Brookfield Residential. And the topic we're going to discuss is, what are the questions I should ask when buying my first home? So Corey, what are some of the questions that I need to ask as a first-time home buyer so I'm well prepared?
Yeah, and being prepared is probably the best thing you can do. There's a lot of resources out there in order to get as much knowledge when buying your first home. The biggest thing to consider would be, what type of home are you looking for that best suits your needs? Part of that goes into what style of home you're looking for. Is it a multifamily home? Is it a single family residence? Are you restricted for mobility, so you need a bungalow style of home? There also goes into the details of how the home is built. So depending on where you're building in Canada, there's a different standard specifications or different prerequisites for how a home needs to be built in different areas, different province to province, and even sometimes city to city. So specifications can change where you're looking to buy.
So before we actually look at the home models, is it also important to look at some questions that you ask is location? What are some location type questions you would consider?
And that would be dependent on the individual. What part of the city are you working in? What lifestyle do you want this home to accommodate? Are you active? Do you want to be near parks? Do you have a family? You want to be closer to schools? Do you want to have easy access in and out of the downtown core for work, or travel around the city, or access to the mountains for your weekend getaways? And a lot of these would play into the style or the location that you're looking to buy your home in.
So there are obviously questions that you'd ask are your lifestyle questions, family, how many people are probably living inside the home, right, as well. And I guess maybe the stage of life that you're in, right? So it'll be definitely, questions you're gonna ask are definitely different when you're just starting off your career versus someone who is maybe downsizing.
A great question I like to ask people that are coming into the home for the first time looking is, what pain points are you currently moving away from? Because that'll actually say a lot of what they're looking for. If you're in a place that's too small, or your family's growing and you only have one bathroom, the pain points might be that there's not enough space for each person within the home. So it's not necessarily how many people are in the home, it's what kind of lifestyle is this new place going to better accommodate.
And well, let's go back to like location. I was more thinking about community. What kind of questions would you have about the community and where you'd live in, right?
A big part of the community sometimes now would be the homeowners association or the residents association, fees that you would pay on a yearly basis to help accommodate maybe there's a lake in the community and you're paying for the upkeep of that. If there's parks or schools in the community or rec centers, that can change the amount of cost that's associated with those HOA or ROA fees. Sometimes it's maybe just general upkeep of the street cleaning and decorative seasonal items that you're paying for. So asking about if there are residents or homeowners association fees and what that exactly includes. Another question to ask would also be the history of those HOA fees, just because from the initial conception there might have been new programs introduced or a change in how those are operated. So sometimes HOA fees might be at a different cost when the community first starts to where it eventually grows to.
And obviously, this is all looking at if you're buying a duplex or single family home, but there are condo fees to also think about if you're obviously purchasing a condo.
Which
right?
would be separate from condo fees if you're looking at a condo, an apartment, or a townhome as well. So they would be a little bit different. Condo fees would be specific to that where the condo is or where the townhomes are. So the general upkeep of the insurance and maintenance on the exterior of the home, again, general upkeep of any of the parks or the pathways, the green spaces, snow and ice removal for that location separately. So if you're buying a multifamily home in a new community, you would have condo fees, and then you would have your homeowners association fees separate.
And just remember, we do have a video on condo fees above, so if you want to check that out. So Corey, we're talking about condo fees and HOA fees. And so condo fees is in the building that you're in, and HOA fees is in the community you're in, right?
That's correct. There'd be two separate things. So when you're looking at a community that has a residents association or a homeowners association, that's an annual fee that goes towards general upkeep of the street cleaning, maintenance of any parks or green spaces within that entire community, or in some communities they'll have a community center or a lake that you would have access to. And so that annual fee goes towards the staffing, the maintenance for those amenities. When you're looking at a separate condo fee in, say, an apartment or a townhome, those monthly fees are paying towards insurance and maintenance on the exterior. Sometimes it's going towards the utilities used within those condos, snow and ice removal for those specifically. So it would be different than, say, a single family home or sometimes a duplex that would not have those condo fees, but they would still be a part of the community. So they would still have a homeowners association or residents association fee.
Well, sticking with the fees, let's go back and look at the questions that somebody would ask in terms of pricing. What are some key questions that we'd have, first-time homebuyers would have about the price of a home?
Great question, because there's a lot that goes into buying a new home that sometimes can be considered, I guess, sneaky, that a lot of people don't think of. When you're talking to your broker or your lender, there's obviously the mortgage payments and the down payment that you'd be concerned about. On top of that, you would also want to know within the community what the property taxes are on an annual basis, because that is a fee that you would have to take into consideration on an annual or on a monthly basis as well. General cost of utilities would be something you'd have to look at purchasing on top of your mortgage fees as well, because you want to have running water, you want to have electricity, you don't want to be living by candlelight the entire time. So there's sometimes those little things you'd have to also consider when buying a brand new home.
Well, you'd probably also want to consider furnishing too. So even if you're buying a resale home or an older home, are there thoughts of probably upgrading some of your furniture? Are you just going to move everything that you have? I'm sure there's some things that you probably want to get rid of, buy new, right?
Some people consider moving into a new place a form of exercising some demons as far as the lawn furniture that you're keeping in your living room. It's a great opportunity to maybe get rid of some of your older pieces and upgrade your new home depending on what your lifestyle is going to be. So take into consideration when you're buying a new home, what space you're going to be using in each room. So if you have to get a new bedroom set, or if you're getting more bedrooms in your new home, being able to furnish those as well.
So we looked at purchase questions, location, community questions, fees that you might have to pay for. Anything else to add?
Again, when looking for a new home, it's entirely based on your lifestyle and what this new home is going to bring to the lifestyle that you're trying to achieve. So making sure you're making decisions based on what you want out of your life in the next 3 to 5 years to make sure that's filling that role.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And the question I have for you is, what questions do you have for first-time home buyers that maybe we didn't cover? So if you can let us know in the comments section below. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyerschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.